Hey, this is Scott Marker with another episode of Treasure Valley NIA Quick Tips. What it is I live here in the Treasure Valley, Idaho. I run a once a month professional referral groups. I get to meet a lot of high caliber local owners and here in the valley that do all types of different things. And I just love to bring them on the show and let them share their expertise. And today's a perfect example. Israel, introduce yourself.
Hey guys, I'm Israel. I'm with Hawaiian Built Roofing. We're a local residential and commercial roofing company. We do steep roofs, we do low slope, we do anything with roofing. We also do inspections, we do care clubs, so maintenances, and we do anything between replacing, repairs, and just normal inspections.
That's awesome. I love it. And they're like a 18-year local family company, with over 100 5-star reviews. It's just
Mm-hmm.
awesome. So, yeah, what the cool thing is they actually recommended this, having the podcast that on the roof. So I want him to kind of show us. So they do roof inspections, for example, and you know roofs can be so expensive, and people just don't do anything. They just let them sit there year after year after year until something goes wrong. And so Israel's going to show you a couple things they do in some of their inspections. So go ahead and show us some things you do.
So number one, when we come up on a roof for roof inspection, we check for how many layers. So how we check for the layers is we come to the edge of the roof and we see how much layers it is. There's only one layer on this roof. It's a 2005 build, so the shingles aren't that old. But what we're coming across is failure of the shingle, and I'll get you. There's some right here. Right here, you can see this is like one of the worst areas where you can see how the granules are just no longer on it. And this right here, this is the fiberglass. So that's the mat of the shingle. And so when that starts to show, that starts to let us know that the shingle's life is starting to fade away because the granules are starting to leave the shingle. So this is one of the first things we look for is for layers and what this condition of the actual shingles. Next, what we look at is penetration. So this is a direct vent. So that would be for your bathroom vent, for your dryer vent, your kitchen vent. It's a direct vent through their attic. It needs to go all the way through. This is an old school and it's metal. We recommend metal because the counterpart to metal is plastic. And this one is in fairly good condition, but usually when we come across it, oh, there is a crack right here. Usually they have a lot of cracks up here though. And when they get cracks up there, it's just an instant hole into the attic. And that's water into your attic. You don't want any type of moisture in your attic. So we do layers, the shingle condition, and penetration, parts and pieces. So another parts and piece would be my pipe flashing. And a pipe flashing is for anything that connects to the sewage. So for your bathroom, it would be, so we got to make sure everything around it is installed properly. So this is not the best install, but it gets the job done. There's no water getting into the attic, nothing like that. It's a fairly old pipe flashing, but it's good. Another thing we look at is the roof vents. We make sure you have enough intake and outtake. This right here is an outtake vent. It looks like they probably had a ventilation issue because these are a little bit newer vents, and we could tell it's a repair. The entire roof vent can come off. So somebody came in afterwards and put that on, which is very surprising that it hasn't blown off considering that is not nailed down. Shingles around it are not nailed down. So that's why roof inspection is very important, because we just found multiple things. We found a roof vent that obviously needs some type of attention. We found shingles that are starting to degranulate, and it's actually called a shingle failure. So if they're the original homeowners and it's the original roof, which they have said that it is, so it's the original roof and the original homeowners, they could potentially have some type of compensation headed their way from the shingle manufacturer, because in about 2005 to 2009, there was a bad batch. Everybody was having bad batches of shingles. And the particular one, Certainty, this is what we think it is, Certainty will come and give them actual money for the replacement. So you could get compensation for your roof that failed. But that's kind of what we look at.
Israel, how, okay, so let's say that's the case. Who
Mhm.
reaches out to the manufacturer? Do you do that or do they do that?
So the process for that is we come by with a shingle replacement. So what we have to do is we have to come up on the roof again, we have to swap out a shingle. So we'll take a shingle off their roof, we'll put a brand new one on in the area where it used to be. And then we will box it up and we'll ship that shingle to a Certainty. And Certainty will determine either if it's actually a Certainty shingle and if it's actually failing. And they'll say, okay, well, we can give you this amount of money for your roof. It's kind of simple, but that's not even a warranty too. That's just Certainty kind of just they got sued for it, so they're helping out. But we sell Certainty products. We sell the Sure Start warranty, and it comes with a 30-year or a 50-year warranty. This is just like they're just helping out. Is kind of
A
what it is.
goodwill. It's kind of a goodwill thing they
Yeah,
do.
exactly.
That's
It's not
awesome.
warranty,
But
but
that's so awesome that's awesome that you found that resource because I mean somebody might be, I
uh-huh.
mean if they'll replace it, what a great deal.
Well, there's probably like $2 million just in Certainty shingles that are failing because they're the only manufacturer right now that will come out and give you money for a replacement. All the other ones betted on you selling the house within 5 years, and most of them
Oh,
did. And so the shingles failed.
wow.
Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what we look at for
Okay.
roof inspections. We're looking at also, this is kind of, it's a bad install. You got a vent right on top of a pipe. What we would do is we would go into the attic and relocate this somewhere probably like up here so that it has a little bit more room for the water to actually run instead of just on a pipe. But yeah, just certain little things we come across on inspections.
That's all. Again, this is me. A lot of times I always think, and that's why I vetted you guys beforehand, but
Mhm.
you hear in the past, you hear rumors of people get up on the roof and just say stuff's wrong with their roof
Mhm.
to charge you a bunch of money, right? So that's why I
Mhm.
like you guys because you're up there really trying to help the owners out. Even the fact that you're going to look to see if that company, which I would have had a clue
Mhm.
about that company, would maybe do the right thing and replace some of those. That's awesome.
Mhm. Yep, Certainty is the one we've been going with. It's who we like. We also do like Malarkey, but Certainty is we've just been with them the longest. So that's who we push as of right now.
Cool. And then so tell more about your care plan. So what does that look like?
So our care plan, this house does have gutters. So what we would do twice a year, we'd come out and we would clean these gutters. These gutters don't look too bad because she doesn't have too many trees in her yard, but as you can see, she's got a bunch of granules all the way down. She's got a whole bunch of granules. The entire gutter is black. So that tells us that the shingle has been degranulating at a pretty fast process. I mean, that's probably a whole bucket worth of
Oh,
granules in the
yeah.
just she's on back gutter. So it's probably just this back gutter has a whole bunch. And it's south facing, so it gets a lot of the sun. So this is touched by the sun a lot, and I can show you more. You got a whole bunch of patches of just when you see that shiny stuff, that's the fiberglass in the shingle, and it's all back here. So she could potentially get not a free roof because they don't cover everything Certainty, but they do cover the shingles, the starter, anything Certainty product on this roof they're going to cover. So
That's
you
awesome.
don't have to pay for material essentially.
Yeah, and that's on people that bought the house
Mm-hmm.
with
If you bought the house with Certainty shingles on it, or you had it put on, and you're still the original owner, then yeah, you can get compensation for it. If so, the Certainty Sure Start warranty that we like to push for our homeowners, it's transferable up to two homeowners. So it's a good selling point if you're interested in selling your home in the next 10 years. You still got 20 years on a warranty. It's transferable, and you get some money back on the roof that you put
that's
on.
awesome. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I love that. So you guys so you guys come out how many times a year on your maintenance program?
So our maintenance program, it's twice a year gutter cleanings, twice a
Okay.
year roof debris cleanings, and then it's an overall roof inspection. So she doesn't have much debris, very, very, very little, but some roofs, there's a lot of debris that likes to pile up all in here, and this is called a valley. It's one of the lowest points on the roof. So a lot of debris likes to pile up there, and any debris piling up right here is really bad because it's going to stop water from draining off the roof properly. So it's just going to build up water, and shingles are not waterproof. It's what's underneath the shingles. So it's going to go underneath the shingles and it's going to backtrack and it's just going to get into your house. So We come out twice a year. We clean debris off your roof. We do any gutters, and we do inspections. They're very beneficial for your roof. Your gutters, if they're getting too full, you're gonna probably get some ice dams in the winter. And then if you're having too much debris in your valleys, if your roof is on its way out, it's gonna leak. The chances of you having proper underlayment on it are very slim.
Cool.
But yeah.
So what you talked about sometimes where I've heard of you guys coming out to be second opinions, right? Someone comes by and door-to-door salesperson basically and say, "Oh, free inspection," and they say, "Oh, you need a whole new roof," right? And they call you guys and they say, Hawaiian Built Roofing, and say, "Hey, can we get a second opinion?" So what are you guys looking at when you guys come out in those second opinions? And then you'd mentioned specifically that you've told people about, well, not exactly. You got 10 years left on this roof, 5 years left. So what are you looking for when you come out there, like for a second opinion?
So when we get a second opinion, we usually like to see what their opinion was, and we would like to go and check what they thought. So if they think like, oh, they need new vents, we're gonna come up and check how many vents they have and how many intake vents they have. If they said it needs a replacement, we're gonna go up there and we're gonna check everything, how we went through is layers, penetrations, any bad installments. I mean, you could have a brand new roof, and if you have a bad installment, you're gonna need to replace it very soon because it's installed improperly. So we're just kind of the same things on the inspections. We go and look through parts and pieces. That's a big one. Parts and pieces can always be repaired. We look at install. Install is a little bit tricky because if it's a whole side that's installed improperly, the only other option is to replace it, and that sucks. But you want your roof installed properly. You want to be watertight. So that's kind of what we look at on second opinion. We don't trying to think. We don't just agree and we don't just disagree because they're a different company. We actually put our own thoughts into it, and we actually.
See, I love that because you might agree with them. Yeah, you're right. It does need to be replaced.
Yeah, exactly.
And so yeah, but also that's a lot of money on a roof,
Yeah.
So if someone tells me they got to get my roof replaced, might be worth someone. So how much do you charge for a second opinion?
It depends. So if you're looking for a replacement, we don't charge for a roof inspection. But if you're just looking like, hey, my roof is leaking and I'm wondering what it would cost to get it repaired, we're gonna charge $59, and that just covers time, labor, and gas.
Okay.
And that's also for expertise to know where we're looking at.
That's nothing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's a great deal. Yeah, I said that's why I really like you guys. I want to get you on the show because there's just some industries that have a little not so perfect reputation, and that's why I want to bring you guys on because you guys do things the right way, which I love.
That's what we work for.
The what?
We work for the roof.
Explain that. I love that. Well, what do you mean by that?
So whatever in the best interest of the roof. So a lot of the time we have to use that phrase is in real estate deals. So someone wants to sell their house. Their roof is 22 years old. Most roofs only last 20 years old. So 22 years old, he wants to just sell the house and dump it. He thinks small repairs can be done. When we come up on the roof and we check it out, it needs a full replacement. You can't sell your roof you can't sell your house until you need the roof replaced. So we're going to tell them, we're going to need to replace this. If you don't like that, then that's fine. We won't do business because there's no reason for us to do a repair and for it to not be 100% warranted. We warranty every single thing we do. So it'll be for a replacement or a repair, we warranty it.
Right.
So that's the big.
I love that too. I mean, so you're doing it for the roof because again, it's like
we don't want to come back.
You don't want opinions. You want to do what's right for the homeowner, and what. So the roof's going to tell you what it wants. What the roof will tell you what needs to be done, not some realtor trying to sell the house.
Of course, we come across that a lot, and most realtors just kind of want it to be certified, and we're like, well, it needs quite a bit of repairs. So we come across that a lot with realtors.
Okay, I mean, and there's a lot of great realtors too, but just
of course,
a lot of times they're trying to get the house sold. But you again, that's why they bring the experts in like you because you're going to give them the straight up on it. So cool. Hey, this has been awesome, man. I'm about to bring you back, and maybe we'll have to do this on a commercial roof next because you guys do both residential and commercial, correct?
So my dad, Kenny, he's the owner of the business. He started off as a commercial roofer in Hawaii, so that's actually how we get the name. He's Hawaiian Built. But then he went off to Oregon, and he was a union worker, and that's how he got his journeyman card. So he's one of the few journeymen in Idaho. So he exceeds at low slope. That's his favorite. So
cool.
we got trained doing shingles first, then we all went to low slope, and low slope is it's really challenging if you don't know what you're doing. So he knows what he's doing, and it makes it pretty easy.
That is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, well, Kenny, if people wanted to get a hold of you, what would be, and I'll put your contact information in the show notes, right? So that too, but just what's the best way to reach out to you if someone want to call you and get either sign up for your inspection and get their gutters cleaned, or to just reach out to you to ask you some questions?
My work number is 208-965-6379.
Okay.
You can call me, you can text me. My email is israel@hbrcorp.org. You can call, you can email, you can text. You got all the
Cool.
resources.
And I'll put them in the show notes. So,
of course, thank you.
hey, this has been awesome, Israel. I really, really appreciate it. Like I said, what a great idea on having you do it right from the roof.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So
we get to show everybody what we're actually looking at and what we do on a roof inspection.
yeah, that's perfect. Well, awesome. Hey, I appreciate it, Israel. Hey, be safe on the roof.
Of course. See you later, Scott.
Hey, thanks.
Bye.